for joining us for our Meet the Author program offered by the Virginia Beach Public Library. Today we welcome local author Kathy Herman. Let me begin by asking you to tell us about your background and how you got started with writing.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Chris for all of her hard work in making this interview a reality. This interview has been a fairly new experience for me as an author, and Chris has made this process a delightful journey. So thank you. Well, I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, with 4 siblings and 2 working parents who were avid readers and writers. Elementary school was quite a challenge for me as I attended Catholic school, and believe it or not, there were 50 to 60 students in one class. Fortunately, my mom moved me and my siblings to public school, where I quickly learned to read as well as write and learned to express my thoughts on paper. Due to these issues as a young child, I gravitated towards wanting to help children who were struggling readers and writers. Presently, I'm living in Virginia Beach with my college sweetheart, Pat, and together we raised 3 amazing children, and now I'm enjoying my kids as adults, along with their spouses and my grandchildren. I received my bachelor's degree from Radford University in early childhood education and my master's degree as a reading specialist from the College of William and Mary. I taught several grades on the elementary level, and then I was a reading specialist at several schools in Virginia Beach for a total of 38 years, plus 3 more years subbing at my granddaughter's preschool, Sunnybrook, in Virginia Beach. I continued to tutor many students until the pandemic hit, and now I'm a children's book author.
Tell us about your latest book.
Okay, my latest book, or my first book, I must say, is Invisible COVID, It's Everywhere. It is about a second grader who must stay home and follow the rules and see and listen to her teachers and friends on small boxes on a computer monitor. This character expresses her thoughts and fears and observations of the pandemic. Throughout the story, she complains about a sickness that she cannot see, hear, smell, taste, or touch, as well as what she must do to stay safe while attending school virtually. The end result is hearing that there is hope to make this COVID go away. While children must continue to follow the rules and listen to adults in order to stay safe. My book was inspired by my granddaughter, Olivia, who was in 2nd grade at the time. Now she's in 5th, who attended school virtually.
Is writing your primary career?
At this point in my life, I would say that writing is my top priority, as I am a published author of my first book, Invisible COVID, It's Everywhere. I have always been a voracious reader, and I try to write every day in multiple journals. When an idea pops in my head, I try to write it down or dictate into my notes on my iPhone. This census page in my book is where I began my story of Invisible COVID, It's Everywhere. I drew stick figures and then expanded my story from there.
Now, are you self-published or do you have a publisher?
Well, I am actually mid-range hybrid because there are 3 types of publishing choices, which can be quite overwhelming: traditional, self-published, or hybrid. Traditional publishing is very hard for first-time authors unless you are famous or have an agent. The market for most authors today is quite high for self-publishing a story or the hybrid choice, which uses a publishing company that is well established in the publishing world. Your manuscript must be accepted first, and then you go from there. I chose the hybrid method so I could have the advantage of what I wanted in the arrangement of the text, the font, style, size of text, and how the text was arranged on each page, along with the background color. I drew out the illustrations, and the publishers had illustrators that made my illustrations come to life. The quality of my work using a hybrid publisher fulfilled my dreams of having my first book published.
And how do you promote your books?
This part of publishing has been my biggest challenge. Even though I've had some help with my publisher, I continue to work and learn about the marketing process. It is a complicated process, and I hope to encourage more readers of my book. The purpose of Invisible COVID, It's Everywhere, is to encourage healthy and positive thinking. Education hopefully will ensure our world will never experience such an extreme pandemic such as COVID.
Where do you get ideas for your books?
Well, ideas just seem to pop in my head when I see something or I smell something or I look at observe my grandchildren or other kids. I try to quickly record on my iPhone or write in my journals. Later, I will go back and try to expand on one of my ideas by brainstorming multiple thoughts to make it into a story. Sometimes nothing works, and some ideas will blossom into a story.
Describe a little about your writing process.
My first book, Invisible COVID, It's Everywhere, was written during the pandemic when everyone had to stay home and children were viewing school virtually. Virtual school was quite challenging for teachers, parents, and students. Observing my granddaughter and my tutoring students dealing with the frustration of virtual school and staying away from family members and friends was quite difficult. My first thoughts were, what in the world is COVID or any virus? You can't see it, smell it, taste, hear, or touch it. The end result is that you are sick. I did a lot of brainstorming and revising and editing of my manuscript and multiple times to make this idea Invisible COVID come to life. This process of with a manuscript took about a year or more to finally send to a publisher, which was another year or more to finally being published.
And now, where can someone buy your book?
Well, my book can be purchased at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Dorian's Publishing Company in a printed as well as a digital version.
All right. What is the piece of advice that you might give to an aspiring writer?
Well, my advice would be to keep on swimming and never give up on your dream. Your dreams to write something special will always be a challenge, and you must have the courage to continue to pursue your dream and make it a reality. You can do it. Stay positive and keep on swimming.
At this point, would you please read to us an excerpt from your book?
I would love to share my parts of my book, Invisible COVID. It's Everywhere. My favorite part of the book that resonated with me as an author is the census pages, and this is where I got started. I feel that children have no idea of how or why they get sick. What in the world is COVID, germs, viruses, and all the kinds of icky stuff that make us feel badly? Using our five senses is what we do to feel and to remind us of fond memories. Excitement when we sense snow is coming, or the smell of a pie or cookies baking in the oven. Well, our senses cannot detect sickness that is about to invade our bodies. That is why COVID was so scary with any illness. We had to stay away from family, friends, and school. Everyone around the world had to wash their hands, wear masks, and patiently wait for a vaccine to protect all of us from getting sick. So on my census pages, it says, this COVID is so annoying. I don't see it. I don't taste it. I don't smell it. I don't hear it. I can't touch it. COVID is everywhere, adults say. Unfortunately, COVID is still around in all forms of different variants. All of us, young or old, were affected by this virus in many ways. In the back of the book is a list of questions that you can discuss with your child and students. Kids love to share their thoughts and feelings. It is my intention that this picture book will be utilized in classrooms and homes to spark conversations concerning a child's perspective and experiences of the pandemic. This book may be also used to help a child understand why vaccines are so important, to stay healthy, and to stay positive. So, at the end of my book, I have, for now, I hope everyone will be smart and get vaccinated so I can go back to school and see my friends. I hope you will too. Because I know if we do, all we can do is stay safe. We can soon hug our families and friends and shout, "Goodbye, COVID," and all those nasty germs all around us. Thank you for giving me the time to share my book, Invisible COVID.
Kathy, you're so welcome. As I think I had said to you before, the book is very timely, and I think it will be very well received. So thank you for sharing that with us. Anything else that you wanted to add today, besides what we've already talked about?
No, no, thank you. I just
All
hope
right.
that it'll be utilized in the classrooms or in all the homes. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and best of luck with your new book.
Thank you.